The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Alicia, and I'm going to be giving the webinar today. Today, we're going to see how we do searches in our new beta version, and we're going to see what is in the overview of the properties. Okay, I've already logged into my account. This is our search page. Remember that you can, if you have any questions at any moment during the webinar, just go ahead and type them in and I'll try to answer them as soon as I see them. Okay, one of the biggest difference from the old version, the one that everyone has been using, to our new version, is that we do not have basic search and advanced search. We only have one search. So this is our search page. We have location, of course. Here you can put address, zip code, county, state, parcel ID. State, Florida. We are hoping to open other states very soon, but for now, still we're only in Florida. In county, of course, we have all 67 counties in the state of Florida for now. For those of you that use the old version and use date, it did happen to me the first time I came in here. I couldn't find date anywhere because in here it's called Miami-Dade. When I start selecting my parameters in this version of my search, they start appearing on this side. So that way I can, by one glance, see what I have been selecting. So I'm going to start selecting. Okay, I have state Florida, Miami, city. I can look for a specific city, selecting exact, contains, not contains, multiple contains. I can select a specific zip code. I can select multiple zip codes. I would select multiple contains and start typing in here the different zip codes separated by commas without spaces between them. In data, same as we did before, we can remember that the data in ReiFax is actually everything and anything that is registered in public records in the state of Florida. So if you leave it at public records, it will actually pull everything or anything. So depending on what type of search you're doing, you can leave it at public records and narrow down your searches with the other filters. Or if you're looking for sale properties, you select for sale, for rent. We do have a new filter here in our new version, that's for sale by owner. These are properties that are for sale but not in the MLS. So they're not listed, but they're for sale from other sources. You would have to contact directly the owner. We have foreclosure, mortgage. That's something that's still on the works. So if the property has had an agent assigned at any moment, you'll have that information, but you'll also have the contact information for the owner if it's for sale by owner. Okay, let's look for properties. In this search, I'm going to look for properties. Let's leave it at public records. I'm going to select here. Remember, we can search single family, condos, towns, and villas, multifamily plus or minus 10, commercial, vacant land, and mobile homes. I'm going to select single family. See that as I select things here, they start appearing on this side. Let's look for foreclosure. Let's select pre-foreclosed. Probates, we have yes or no. I'm not going to search for probates right now, but we do have probates for properties that are in legal process under a will. That's the probates we have here in our system. And life state, that's any kind of legal procedure that the property might be in. Okay, now we have here, remember that in the old version we had sections, one below the other one. Here we have it placed in tabs. We have the public records information, the for sale filters, the for rent filters, the for sale by owner filters, the foreclosure filters, the mortgage filters, and the probates filter. Let's start with the public records information. I can select number of beds and bathrooms. Let's put equal to bedrooms. Let's put 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. We can select a specific gross area, whether greater than or less than or between. Same thing here with lot size, greater than, less than, equal or greater than. Most of our filters, when they are in quantity, they are greater than, less than, equal or greater than, equal or less, or between or multiple. For sale, I did not select here for sale up here. Let's go back. I did not select here for sale. I put public record. So if I do not select up there for sale, I can come here in this filter and select whether I want properties in my results that are for sale or not for sale. That depends on what you're looking for. If you want properties that have never been for sale, you select here never for sale. I'm going to leave it at all at this moment. This one, real agent, is that if I want properties that have a real agent assigned or not. Let's keep scrolling down. We have year built, market value. I could put in a price range here. Market media, debt to equity. I selected, I'm going to, since I have them here, this is why it's easier this way. I can look for the pre-foreclosed, delete it from here, clicking on the X. And I'm going to look for properties that are free and clear. Let's put 100. The debt to equity window will give me how much debt the properties have or how much equity they have. If I put 100%, that will bring me properties that have 100% equity. That is, they have no debt, or at least not one that we could find in the system. Hello, Marielle. Marielle asked if we can save these new parameters. Yes, we can save them. I'll show you right now how to do it. Let's finish selecting all my parameters and I'll show you how to save it. Okay, let's equal or, okay, debt to equity 100. That will bring properties that are free and clear. If I want properties that have some equity in them, for example, properties with 30% equity, that would bring properties that owe only 70% of the market value and have 30% clear. We can search for tax delinquent properties either by year or by amount. We can search for properties by the name of the owner, or we can use this one to exclude some things. For example, if I select here not contains, I can put in keywords here like bank. When I put in my filters a list, I always separate it by a comma without leaving any spaces. Bank, financial, trust, corp. Okay, the idea of this keywords here is to hopefully bring out properties that are not owned by a financial institution like a bank, trust, corp. So I put not contains and type in those words, and hopefully I will bring properties up that are owned by an individual and not by a bank or an institution. Okay, again, we have city, state, county, zip code. This is related to the owner. So, for example, if I would want properties that are the owner does not live in the state of Florida, I could put not contains and put here FL. I'm not going to do it right now because I would be limiting too much my search. But in this case, I would put FL and put not contains. And that would bring properties that the owner does not live in the state of Florida. Okay, again, I can use all this to filter out or to look for a specific owner. Values, I can put in specific values or ranges of building, land, taxable value, known debt. Others, if I want properties that have pool or waterfront. Stories, units, unit type, air conditioning, yes or no. Then I can go to the next tab. This is for sale. I did not select for sale properties, so I'm going to leave this one in blank, but let me show you. Again, we have waterfront, year built, listing date, or HOA fee, days on the market, financial, if I want to look for REOs, property, short sales, no other. Then I have the for rent. Again, depending on what I'm looking for. Remember, there is a lot of variables I can use, so it's just a matter of coming in here and playing around to get exactly the type of properties I'm looking at. Then we have for sale by owner. Like I told you, this is a new one. So, but again, it's just so I can get exactly the type of properties I'm looking for. Again, bedrooms, half bathrooms, waterfront, year built, listing date, entry date, days on the market. Then we have the foreclosure, mortgage, and probate tabs. They work in a similar way. Foreclosure, in the similar way, is in the sense that you can look for a very specific, if you're looking, for example, in foreclosure, you can actually look for a specific case number or a mortgager or an attorney or auction date. But in a general search, you would put entry date or mortgage date, or auction date. That those would be the parameters you would use in a general search. Same thing in mortgage. You can look for a specific grantor, borrower, or document, but in general you would use amount or recorded date. Again, in probates we have the same options. We can look for a very specific with ID notice of the name of the representatives or the attorney or whatever. But in general, I would use file or published date and look for, let's say, the last 6 months. Okay, once I have all the parameters I want in my search, I can come here and click on Manage Search. This is how I would save this specific search. I click on Manage Search. This will open all my managed searches. For some reason, the system took me out. Let's log in again. Sorry for that. Let's go back to my new version. Okay, let's select the search parameters we had quickly here. We had Miami-Dade. We had public records, single family. We had in public records. We had for sale. Market value, we had no, we didn't have market value. We had debt to equity 100. 100, we had owner's name not contains, bank, financial, corp, trust. Single family, public records, 100% equity. Let's put for sale, just to narrow it down. Yes. Okay, so I'm looking for properties that are for sale that have 100% equity, that is, they have no debt on them. They're owned by individuals. Okay, let's save this search for that way I can use it in another time. I click here and Manage Search. Here I have all the saved searches. ReiFax offers some searches preset in your system, only in the new version. If you go to your old version, unless you're a mentor student, the mentor students from DREA do have some searches saved. However, everyone, all our clients now have in our new version this preset searches here. They are all begin with RFX. Multifamily for sale, tax delinquent. Single family for sale, bank owned. Single family for short sale. Right now, I think they're around 18. We're aiming to have around 60 different searches preset in your system. Okay, I'm going to I already selected my parameters here, so I'm going to click on New and give a name to my search. So my search was single family for sale. I have to give a name and a description. For sale. And the description would be 100 equity, date, and I click on save. Okay, that saved my search. It should be the last one here. Here's my search. So I'm going to clear out this. When I clear, everything goes back to my default. And if I want to set up that particular search again, I just click on manage search, look for the search I want to select it, and click on load. And here I have my search. If I want to edit something, for example, if I want to change the county, if I want to change it permanently, I can come in here, select it, and, well, no, sorry. I would have to change it here. So I change it there, and let's go to Palm Beach. So I select Palm Beach, click on Manage Search, look for it again, select it, and click on Overwrite. Are you sure you want to overwrite this template? Yes. So if I want to change it, I do not come here, select it, and change it. I have to, let's say, for example, load it. Once I have it loaded here, change whatever I want to change. For example, let's change it to condos, towns, and villas. Click on Manage Search, select it, and click on Overwrite. And that is what changes my search parameters. Once I have the search parameters, I click on Search, and let's see what comes out. Actually, that was a very large search. The system only exports to Excel the first 1,000 properties. So our recommendation, if you're going to export your results, is to narrow down your searches. For example, in this case, I would come back and let's add, I don't know, I could add a price range or a building year, so that my my results is not that large. But let's go back to results. Search. Okay. So this is how I do my searches. That's how I manage my searches. Let's go to my results and show you a little bit of what we have in the overview of the properties. Let's wait for my results to load. Shouldn't take this long. There. Okay, so here I have my results. By default in my result, I see address, zip code, gross area, living area, beds, bathrooms, foreclosure status, sold price, tax value, land value. I can change what I see in my columns. Clicking here on grid template, I have the default selected here. But if I click here, I'll have more templates, either the ones I can create my own templates. Let me show you. Okay, let me show you one that I have already created. For example, if I want owner's info, click and load. That changed what I see in my columns. Oh, now I have the address of the property, the listing price, the owner's name, the phone number of the owner if it's available, obviously, the owner's address, owner's state, owner's city, owner's zip code, gross area, last sale, tax value. I can manage this. If I come here to grid template, I can create a new one. Let's say new one. Then I'll have all the options of all the information available for the properties, and I can select or deselect which ones I want to appear in my columns. This is useful because only the information that I see in my columns is the information that will be exported to Excel if I select them and export. Let's create one for tax information. So I select, first of all, address of the property. Let's put year built, debt to equity, market value, taxable value, and let's go down here. And select tax year and tax amount. So this is the information I want. I give a name to it. Tax. And click and save. Now I can come in here, select it, load, and I now see the address of the property, the built year, debt to equity, the market value, the taxable value. Don't remember selecting township, but maybe it slipped there. Tax amount and tax year. My search wasn't specifically for tax delinquent properties, so that's why most of them are in blank. Only we had one property with tax delinquency information. Well, that's how we use them. That's how we manage our searches. I can come here and edit it just like we did the other templates for the searches. I can select one and edit it. See, it did. And save again. Okay, let's go to the overview of the property to see. To go to the overview of the property, all I have to do is click on it. That will take me to the overview of the property. In the overview of the property, I'll see details. First of all, the address, days on the market. These ones are for sale. Green means that they're active for sale. I'll have the details here. That's the public records detail information, legal description, sales history, and owner's information. If the property is listed for sale, I'll have additional links that will take me directly to IDX and Realtor.com, where I can see additional information on the properties that are listed for sale. Then I'll have comparables. The comparables will show me properties in the area within a 0.5 square miles that are similar to the property that I'm looking at. That is, they are 10% more or less the same square footage as the one I'm looking at, that were sold in the last 12 months. So all these properties are similar to my subject property, this subject property, and they were sold in the last 12 months. And based on these properties, the system will calculate, here would calculate market value and market median. Then we have active comparables. This will show me properties active for sale in the area. Again, 10% more or less the same square footage as the property I'm looking at. And they within a 0.5 square mile, and they're active for sale at this moment. Based on these ones, the system will calculate active value. So that's the difference between market value and active value. Market value takes the median sold price of the properties sold in the last 12 months. You can change that 12 months to 6 months or whatever it's best for you. And active value is the median listing price of the properties active for sale in the area at this moment. Then we have distress comps. This will show me properties in distress, underwater, upside down, however you want to call them. These are properties that have very large depths on them. Again, 10% more or less the same square footage as the one you're looking at. That's this green one here. For example, this one has a market value of $65,000 and it has a known depth of 96. If I want to see more information on it, all I have to do is click on it, and that will take me to the overview of that property, overview comp. I can see all the information, all the tabs, without closing the one I was looking at. I can go back to the overview I was looking at. Then I have rental comps. These are properties, again, similar to the one I'm looking at. They are for rent in the area, just to have as a comparable. If you're an investor and you want to see what's the best thing to do with the properties once you buy them, you also have B&B comps. These are the new fad of bed and breakfast. That is, you can lease out your property for short periods, for days or weeks, and the system will give you those types of comparables and what's the best season to rent, what type of properties are being rented in the area, and all that information, just to have as a reference to see what you're going to do with the property once you buy it. This one was a tax delinquent property, so I'll have the tax delinquency information here. This one has a tax debt from 2016. So that's what I see in the overview of the property. Do you have any questions? That's what I actually wanted to show you, what we have in the overview of the properties and how to do our searches, manage our searches, and how to manage our information in our results. So if we do not have any questions, it was a pleasure working with you today. As always, next Friday we'll be giving our next webinar, and we are always happy to have you with us every Friday morning. Remember that if you have any questions at any moment, we have this Let's Talk flag here that you can open a live chat and do any quick questions. Marielle has a question. How do you select buying? I'm not sure what you mean by select buying. You mean how to send them to your follow-up? Okay, from my results, let's say I decide I want to work with 3 properties. I click here on follow-up, and that will open this window and show me follow type: buying, selling, or prospecting. The most common thing that you will use is buying, because that's what you're going to try to do with these 3 properties. You're going to send them to your buying list so you can start working, sending contracts to them, and following on those properties. Once you buy the property and you want to sell it, you put it in your selling list. They go to the same window, but they have an S next to it, so you know that that property, that's what you're going to do with it now. You're going to sell it. And prospecting are properties that you're not sure that you are interested in, but you're not going to work right now with them, but you have them in your list so you can look at them later on. So that's how you send the properties to your buying. I select them here, click on follow up, select buying, and click add properties. Adding 3 properties. Properties successfully added to your follow-up. So now if I go to my follow-up, I should see those 3 properties there. Let's refresh. Sometimes I have to refresh to see the newest additions to my follow-up. Suppose it's these 3 ones. Usually they come up on top, but it's these 3 properties. Once I have them in my follow-up, I start working with them, select them, click on calculate offer, so my offer column populates, and I can start sending contracts or emails or text messages. I can go to the overview of the property, or I can go to, if I already sent a contract, I can see the contract, or I can go to my follow history or change the out status. So that's how I send them to my follow-up, or as you said, as to my buying. Any other questions? Okay, so like I was saying, we have the live chat here. Please feel free to contact us during office hours at any moment. We'll be happy to answer any questions or doubts you might have. If you leave us a message off office hours, we'll try to answer it as soon as we come in the next morning. Thank you, Marielle. Yes. You too have a great weekend, and all of you have a great weekend. We'll see you all next Friday. And thank you for being with us. Bye.